Days ranks third in narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances and DPS cases lodged last year. Thoubal District Mahila Congress Committee launched toll-free helpline number 3. And India reports 7,231 new COVID-19 cases, 45 deaths in last 24 hours. Active cases count dropped to 64,667. And last Soviet leader Gorbachev, who ended Cold War and won Nobel Prize, dies aged 91. And Taliban celebrate anniversary of US troop withdrawal from Afghanistan. Hello, welcome to ELITETV's 3 p.m. English News. I'm your host, Deemita. Before giving you the news, we request you to follow the SOP given by the government. Wear face masks when in public, wash hands regularly, and maintain a minimum of 6 feet between one person and another. ELITETV requests you to get vaccinated in time to protect ourselves from this virus and play your part in the fight against COVID-19. Now the news in detail. Arunachal Pradesh, with an NDPS crime rate of 17.2%, came third in cases lodged last year under the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances (NDPS) Act, as per data released by the National Crime Records Bureau (NCRB) on 29 August. Punjab topped the list of the crime rate per lakh populations in cases lodged last year under the NDPS Act. As per details, Punjab recorded 32.8% crime rate per lakh populations in 2021, which was the highest in the country. The report further showed that Himachal Pradesh, with a population of 74.6 lakh people, as per the NCRB, ended second on the list in the same category, notching a crime rate of 20.8%. In the case of deaths due to heart attacks, Arunachal records the lowest number. Maharashtra, followed by Kerala, recorded the maximum number of deaths due to heart attacks. As per the data released by the NCRB, crimes against women rose by 15.3% in 2021 from the previous year, with 4,28,278 cases registered last year, following 3,71,503 cases in 2020. The NCRB report also shows that the rate of crime against women increased from 56.5% in 2020 to 64.5% in 2021. According to the report, the highest rate of crimes against women in 2021 was registered in neighboring Assam. Despite a marginal dip over the last 3 years, the state recorded over 29,000 such cases in 2021. Cases of murder with gang rape, of which the NCRB has maintained records since 2017, have remained steady in 2021, the same as in 2019. Arunachal, Goa, Himachal Pradesh, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Bihar and Uttarakhand did not register any cases under this category last year. With the continuous seizures of huge quantity of contraband drugs in the last few days from different areas of the state by Manipur police under the War on Drugs 2.0 campaign, a team of Kakching District Commando Unit has seized 692 grams of heroin number 4 at Nungorok village under Kakching District yesterday around 11:35 am. According to police sources, based on credible and reliable information, the commando team stopped one gypsy white in color without registration number while conducting frisking and checking, which was coming from Palel towards Kakching site. However, the state vehicle didn't halt at the Limanai Chazing Commando checkpost and speed away. Tactically, the commando team managed to stop the gypsy at Nungorok village. The driver of the said vehicle somehow managed to escape from the spot, however, was detained after hot pursuit. Further, the occupant of the vehicle was arrested from Nungorok village and was identified as Boipu Haukip, 31 years, son of Mangnio Haukip of Molnoi village, Technopal district. Upon measuring, the suspected drugs were found to weigh 692 grams in total. The arrested person and the seized items have been handed over to the Kakching police stations for taking up further necessary legal actions, the source added. On the other hand, a combined team of Thawal District Commando and a column of 16 Assam Rifles arrested 2 active cadres of a valley-based proscribed militant outfit from Ukhongsang Mayailerak, Thawal District yesterday around 7:10 p.m. The arrested person has been identified as Maibam Rocky Maitai Elias Chawwa Elias Taibang Lemba, 22 years, son of Led Mohan Maigdai of Khongzom Tekchang Kuno, and Sagol Semprio Bhatta Singh Elias Thoibi Elias Machaton, 19 years, son of Pikomani of Langathen Kangjebung Laikai from Ukhoksang Mayai Laikai. The arrested person has been handed over to Nongpok Sekmai police station for further necessary actions, police source said. Thawal District Mahila Congress Committee launched toll-free helpline number support team for relief, emergency and empowerment street in connections with the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi to extend help to the destitute woman yesterday. Thawal District Mahila Congress Committee President L. Ngambi Devi launched a toll-free helpline number 1800-2030-589 during the launching functions held at Congress Bhavan, Thawal, organized by Thawal District Mahila Congress Committee. She maintained that any women who are in need to help to feel free to ring up the said toll-free number. A send-off ceremony of Team UNESCO School Excellence in Education Imphal West for participating in 15th Nehru Junior Hockey Tournament to be held at Delhi was held today. Team UNESCO School was flagged off by Chairman UNESCO School Ningombam Irabanta. The send-off ceremony was held at the premises of UNESCO School Kongman Jointry Imphal East. Chairman UNESCO School Ningombam Irabanta wishes the players for success in the tournament.
Putting the level Hona state to represent the school to represent the study to Sanabi, Sanabai City, Adum, Awadu Layami, I have my back in my back solution, Honabakanga, Malayga, Amati, Sagi, Amaro, studying the travel to Sami, Apoi, Manuda, we are not on the lay, to the post Haiva. Manager Highways in Laga, going to the cheese and now is and now Sanarusina, as a son of Poina, who is a productively, and the Poi cares and for the night, the Sida, upon the cookie ceremony to the Sanaba, to be quite all in there, to be highly going to school and go in away. Mamma was the Olympic champion, the Lobre, and the Sukaman guy, who is Sushila and globally. That's why I asked the young woman to Sanong Yamley, the coach of the London Mission for the Sea Lapis, and the Polish for Soto, and the Children of Park to the Manipur University, don't know my own, I will be Wakadoza.
Diamond Donor Group Khongjom, led by Diamond TV channel Managing Director James Hekrujam, donated a sum of 25,000 rupees to ailing Albert Maimom of Basikong, who is waiting to undergo an operation of a serious illness. The group also handed over a sum of 20,000 rupees to ailing Laishram Rameshwar of Lilong Arapti, who is unable to work after meeting on road accident few years back.
Promoting atongan ba mating pang bagi group kaya masum lady may amasum mafong kaya so hana biri so nung si biduna mutang mari lena ba concern sing hai tare lebak segi mari lena ba duga local goro kari goro yeng basu yang birong ganito uso to birong ganito.
A torch rally against drugs and alcohol in a state organized jointly by Gold Star Club, Students Club Yumnam Kuno, Matik Mangal Village Federations, Women Empowerment Associations and Women Social Welfare Association was carried out yesterday evening at the surrounding areas of Yumnam Kuno. The torch rally kick-started from Laning Thoputiba Community Hall, Yumnam Kuno and wind up at the same. The torch bearer chanted various slogans against drugs and alcohol and also chanted for a better society. The 10 days first Andhra Pradesh State Shaolin Traditional Kung Fu Taolu Training Seminar, jointly organized by Shaolin Traditional Kung Fu Associations of India and Shaolin Traditional Kung Fu Associations of Andhra Pradesh under the aegis of All India Kung Fu Federations at Power Martial Arts Academy, Brodiped Guntur concluded. The concluding functions of the training seminar was attended by Chief Instructor cum All India Kung Fu Federation's President and also Shaolin Traditional Kung Fu Associations of India founder Grandmaster Dai Sifu C.L. Lama and Shaolin Traditional Kung Fu Associations of Andhra Pradesh President Sifu S.K. M. Samdani as the main case. Certificates were distributed to 100 players who underwent training on Shaolin Lohan Kwan, Shaolin Tongwei Kwan, Shaolin Si Sing Kwan, Shaolin Sin Su Superform, Shaolin Dao, Board Store and different forms of Kung Fu techniques. Yaifalamjing Loop Development Committee, NPP and District Veterinary Office, Bishnupur, Government of Manipur jointly organized one-day awareness program on scientific rearing of pig at Laimaram Kangjebung Community Hall yesterday. Oinam SCMLA Irengbam Nalini, District Veterinary Office, Bishnupur Deputy Director, Kuraizam Santibala, Kainau Jila Parishad Member, Ningthaujam Samananda, Irengbam Gram Panchayat Pradhan, Irengbam Gopen, Oinam Kendra Development Committee, and PP President Lautongbam Ango attended as the main case of the awareness program. Bleaching powder was distributed to the attendees, piggery farmers in the awareness program.
Sa phaba injan kaijan daba aikoi sa o puthokuna aikoi sethoklambi leinaba su punaminasi loina aikoi loiriba sa sandu nadrabadi yekrabadi aikoi leina su kula oi adopada midabu oiro maduga mathang sa singdabu oiro aikoi sandura oi asiguma aikoi traditionally oiba thabak ama oiraba sinpham ama oiraba asigumba thabak se sinpham se aikoi mai pangna aikoi humang chaksanna loinaba senthoknabi oina aikoi humang chaksanna sanana honamina.
And now let's take a short break. Stay tuned for more updates.
The Durand Cup, the oldest and one of the most prestigious football tournament in India, an initiative of the Armed Forces.
Tournament Asida Saruk Yabiriba, Team Singda Yaifa, Pauze Pizari, Amasung Football Bu, Nungsijaba Echil, Enau, Singna Tournament Asidu, Yangbiduna, Sanarong Singki, Puknik, Togatpiu, Amsung Tournament, Asibu Mai, Pakhanbiu, Jai Hind.
HIV IBC Lambi Mari Kuktada, Mio Yamadagi Madasindri.
HIV positive oiba mama mapadagi machada.
Sakangdaba Mio Singa, Gondom Yaudana Yuman Mari Tambamatamda, HIV Sandri.
Mi amaga yatum sirin waiduna seasonabada HIV sandoi.
Ana laying the Ikapamatamda, HIV test of the Ikapabadi, HIV Sandri.
Jang Naina Amadinium Tumna Condom Seasonabana, HIV taking out to
Sexual transmitted infection STI.
Haibadi, Pinungi Lena the Gisunga Topongami.
Adu Angang Pam Drabadi, Condom Sinabio.
HIV have a bias asina Mipur Kudimak Sokali.
Masigi nam Helete, Jahi, Lining, Kangloop, Natraga, Nupanupi, Angang Haidi.
Mashina, me Amadagi Amada, Matang Sindopunga.
Aina Domu Sinari, HIV test on the Villa. Aina Domu Sinari, Condom Sisnabilla.
Aina Domu Sinari, Masabo HIV the Ikan Janaba. HIV AIDS Kimaramda, Hena Kupamoron Kangnabagidamag.
It's toll free number 1097 the phone to me.
English Hindi natraga Manipuri de wari saba yagani.
Nako H app su download to view amadi season view.
of success. Get enrolled to one of the finest schools in Northeast India, UNACO School, Excellence in Education.
Welcome back again. You're watching ELITETV's 3 p.m. English News. Government has estimated to procure 518 lakh tons of rice during the forthcoming Kharif marketing season 2022-23. Around 500 lakh tons of rice was procured during last Kharif marketing season 2021-22. Secretary Department of Food and Public Distribution Sudhanshu Pandey chaired a meeting of State Food Secretaries and Food Corporations of India yesterday to discuss the procurement arrangement for Kharif crop in New Delhi. During the meeting, issues related to adoptions of mechanized procurement operations, borrowing at lower interest rates, reductions in cost of procurement operations, promotions of millets, and online settlement of food subsidy claims were discussed. The Jharkhand unit of BJP has suspended Seema Patra after there was allegations that she abusing her domestic help, according to media reports. Seema Patra has been booked for tormenting the woman identified as Sunita, who was working as a maid at her home. Sunita was allegedly forced to clean toilet with her tongue. Patra, wife of former IS officer Maheshwar Patra, has been charged with having tortured Sunita for the past 8 years. Sunita was spotted with numerous wounds on her body, and she also alleged that Patra used to burn her with objects. Police have registered an FIR under the various sections of the Indian Penal Code IPC and the SC/ST Act 1989 at the Argoda police stations in Ranchi, report said. India Meteorological Department has predicted heavy rainfall in southern and northeastern India during the next 5 days. India Meteorological Department said South Peninsular India, Bihar, Sub-Himalayan, West Bengal, Sikkim and Northeast India are likely to experience heavy rain in the coming days. Eastern part of the country, including Bihar and West Bengal, are expected to witness isolated heavy showers with thunderstorms and lightning over the next few days, India Meteorological Department said. Rainfall is also predicted over southern states including Telangana, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Subdued rainfall activity is likely to continue over northwest and central India during the coming few days. With 7,231 new infections being reported in a day, India's COVID-19 tally rose to 4,44,28,393, while the number of active cases came down to 64,667 according to the Union Health Ministry data updated today. The death count from the pandemic climbed to 5,27,874 after 45 more fatalities were recorded, the data updated showed. The active cases comprise 0.15% of the total infections, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate has increased to 98.67%, the ministry said. A drop of 1,065 cases has been recorded in the active COVID-19 case count in a span of 24 hours. The daily positivity rate was recorded at 2.5%. The weekly positivity rate was recorded at 2.55% according to the Health Ministry. The number of people who have recuperated from the disease surged to 4,38,35,852, while the cash fatality rate was recorded at 1.19%. According to the ministry, 202.39 crore doses of COVID vaccines have been administered in the country so far under a nationwide vaccination drive. India crossed the grim milestones of 2 crore coronavirus cases on 4 May, 3 crore on June 23 last year and 4 crore on January 25 this year. A day after Pakistan's finance minister said Islamabad could consider food imports from India to overcome shortages caused by devastating floods, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif virtually ruled out the possibility and sought to link the matter to the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. The development also came a day after Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed sadness at the devastation caused by the floods in Pakistan and extended condolences to those affected by the natural calamity, raising hopes for possible cooperation between the two countries. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif faced a volley of questions on possible food imports and resumptions of trade with India when he briefed the international media in Islamabad yesterday on the unprecedented floods that have resulted in more than 1,000 deaths and displaced 33 million people. There was no immediate response from Indian officials to Sharif's remark. On 27 August, Pakistan's Finance Minister Miftah Ismail told a media interactions that his country could consider importing vegetables and other food items from India to help people cope with the widespread destructions of crops in flash floods. The former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev has died aged 91 at a hospital in Moscow. The hospital officials in Moscow in a statement said Mikhail Gorbachev passed away after a serious and protracted disease. According to the media report, his health has been declined in recent years. In June, media reported that he has been admitted after suffering from a kidney ailment, though his cause of death has not been announced. Russian news agency TASS reported that he will be buried in Moscow's Novodevichy cemetery next to his wife Raisa, who died in 1999. Mikhail Gorbachev became General Secretary of the Soviet Communist Party and de facto leader of the country in 1985. At the time, he was 54, the youngest member of the ruling council known as Politburo. He also known for opening up the then USSR to the world and introduced a set of reforms at home. After decades of Cold War tension, Mikhail Gorbachev brought the Soviet Union closer to the West than any other point since World War II. In fact, Mikhail Gorbachev's policies of glasnost and perestroika diffused the soaring tensions of Cold War. Glasnost encouraged Russians and Eastern Europeans to speak out against communists, whereas perestroika was an attempt to modernize and rebuild the Soviet state. He won the Nobel Peace Prize for negotiating a historic nuclear arms pact with US leader Ronald Reagan and his decision to withhold the Soviet army when the Berlin Wall fell a year earlier, as seen as the key to preserving Cold War peace. After his demise, the world lost an unparalleled preacher of peace. Tributes have been paid worldwide to the former Soviet leader. UN Chief Antonio Guterres said he has changed the course of history. He said the world has lost a towering global leader, committee, multilateralist and tireless advocate for peace. Russian President Vladimir Putin has expressed his deepest condolence following Mr. Gorbachev's death. US President Joe Biden called him a rare leader and praised Mr. Gorbachev as a unique politician. European Union President Ursula von der Leyen praised him as trusted and respected leader who opened the way for a free Europe. The Taliban declared 31st August as national holiday and lit up the capital with color lights to celebrate the first anniversary of the withdrawal of US-led troops from Afghanistan after a brutal 20 years war. The country's new rulers, not formally recognized by any other nation, have reimposed their harsh version of Islamic law on the improvised country, with women squeezed out of public life. But despite the restrictions and a deepening humanitarian crisis, many Afghans say they are glad that the foreign force that prompted the Taliban insurgency has gone. Jalmia, a resident of Kabul, said they are happy that Allah got rid of the infidels from the country and the Islamic Emirates has been established. The withdrawal of troops at midnight at 31st August began last year and ended America's longest war, a military intervention that began in the wake of September 11, 2001 attacks in New York. Some 66,000 Afghan troops and 40,000 civilians were killed in the conflict, but it was the death of US service members 2,461 in total that became too much for the American public to bear. More than 3,500 troops from other NATO countries were also killed. 2 weeks before the end of the last year withdrawals, the Taliban seized power following a lightning offensive against government forces. Banners celebrating victories against three empires, the former Soviet Union and Britain, also lost war in Afghanistan, were flying in Kabul today. Hundreds of white Taliban flags bearing the Islamic proclamations of faith flew from lampposts and government buildings. Late yesterday, the skies above Kabul were lit up with fireworks and celebratory gunfire from crowds of Taliban fighters. In Masoud Square, near former U.S. Embassy, armed fighters carrying Taliban flags chanted, "Death to America." Others drove across the city honking their horns. India will take on Hong Kong in the second Asia Cup match today after the inaugural win over arch rivals Pakistan in Group A. The match will be played at Dubai International Stadium from 7:30 p.m. Indian time. A win more will be guaranteed man in a blue spot in the Super 4 round. Last night, Afghanistan beat Bangladesh by 7 wickets at Sharjah Cricket Stadium, Sharjah. Chasing the target of 128 runs set by Bangladesh, Afghanistan made 131 for the loss of 3 wickets in 18.3 overs to advance to the Super 4 stage. For ELITETV News Channel, contact to the email address info@elitetv.in on 9402890982 and subscribe to ELITETV YouTube channel or follow on Facebook page, Instagram and Twitter for more information about the channel. And now let's take a look at the headlines once again. Arunachal Pradesh ranks 3rd in narcotics, drugs and psychotropic substances NDPA's cage launched last year. Thawbal District Mahila Congress Committee launched toll-free helpline number 3. India reports 7,231 new COVID-19 cases, 45 days in last 24 hours. Active case count drops to 64,667. Last Soviet leader Gorbachev, who ended Cold War and won Nobel Prize, dies aged 91. And Taliban celebrate anniversary of US troop withdrawal from Afghanistan. And that's all for now. For more updates, keep watching ELITETV English News. Thank you and have a good day.